Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. Assemblymember Anthony Portantino, who represents the 44th District, along with the City of Hope, will be presenting the 4th Annual HIV/AIDS Action Summit on Wednesday, September 22nd. And he joins us to talk about why this summit is still important 30 years later. Nice to have you as Assembly Member.
Thank you, Tracy.
You know, I think about when we first really learned about this disease and when we really actually got our arms around it and understood what it was. And it seems like today we still say there are about 1 million cases in the U.S. and about 20% of the population don't even know that they have this disease. It seems very sad to me.
Well, it's sad, and that's why we do the summit. I mean, that's why we're out pushing routine testing. That's why we're talking about current treatments. You know, frankly, people are living longer. There's also a segment of the population that believes, well, it's not going to hit me, but it's still spreading. I mean, obviously, the disease has changed over the 3 decades. It's now spreading through minority communities, and particularly women of color are one of the fastest growing groups of HIV-positive folks. And so we do this summit every year to highlight these issues, to bring healthcare folks together, to bring students, to bring the community, to help educate and spread the word that we still need to fight this every day.
One of the statistics, that I read fairly recent was that for every 2 cases that we diagnose and we start treating, there are 5 new cases that are actually discovered. So it's one of those things where we obviously want to get treatment out there as much as we possibly can, but does much of this summit focus on preventing so people don't actually contract this disease?
Well, a lot of our efforts are on routine testing. We brought the City of Oakland's health department down 2 years ago to the summit because they have a world-class community outreach program that they do through the City of Oakland. So we brought that model down to the Los Angeles area to help educate other cities. This year we're having City of Hope go through current treatment. We're also going to be outlining Obama's efforts, the current national initiative on HIV. And the single most important thing we can do is have routine testing. Identify those people who are HIV positive.
Are we any closer to making that just when you go in and you have your physical every year, make it so that's just one of the tests that is taken so that you know?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, we do a public testing day as well, and I can tell you that when I'm there and I'm talking to folks who are walking on the street and say, hey,
is there still an aversion?
There's still an aversion, and people say, oh, I got tested 20 years ago when I got married, or I got, you know, or I'm not in a high-risk group. And people don't understand that we're all in a high-risk group. It's about a disease that affects everybody and every family. And one of the things that drives me is, you know, back when I was in college decades ago, I had a cousin who died at a time when when no one mentioned the disease. We didn't talk about, well, what affected him.
You're right.
You know, it just happened. And we've had, 2 years ago, we had a young woman stand up in the crowd and say, there's nobody I can talk to about this in my family, and that's why I'm here, because she was HIV positive. And so this summit focuses on the research, on the science, but also on the people who are affected and the new people who are getting infected until we collectively do something about it.
And I understand that this is open to the public. This is not something that you're holding just for elected officials or something.
No.
So what's the, what do you hope, who do you hope goes to this summit, and what do you hope they take away?
Well, obviously we want the public to come. We're also going to be discussing the role of the media this year. And we're bringing it because the media is our conduit to more people than you can bring to a summit. And so we've invited folks from a lot of the national media, local media, ethnic press, ethnic media to come participate in what they can do, and should they have a responsibility to get the word out about what we're trying to do.
And get the word out effectively and positive. So we want to remind people, it's Wednesday, September 22nd, and it's the lovely City of Hope. You can't help it. Really an amazing organization. If you want to see their Rose Garden, if nothing else, go to see the Rose Garden. Thank you for your continued efforts in really bringing awareness to this, and you go have yourself tested publicly.
Every year.
And my compliments to you for that, sir. For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young.